class, let's take a seat in the chair. And I'll have you start by sitting halfway forward on your chair. So you're not all the way back. You want to have a bit of space behind the back. And also make sure that your feet are able to rest flat onto the floor. So if you do find you're in a particularly higher chair, you can always use some blocks underneath your feet. Have a quick look at your feet as well. So we start to place our feet with a bit of conscious choice here. Sometimes our body has these habits, these ways of sort of resting. And we're going to consciously place the feet so the toes point straight forward. You might lift and spread your toes a few times. And we have here about a 2-fist distance between the feet. This lines up the feet with the hips. And then you're placing your heels so they're approximately right below your knees. And then you can come to sit up with your shoulders up and over top of your hips, resting your hands into your lap. This is our seated posture. In today's class, we're going to practice almost entirely from the chair. I will give us an opportunity to come to the floor for those who do like to come to the floor for practice, but we're going to do pretty much the whole class from the chair, which is really great because there's lots of ways we can get a full practice from a seated position. So let's start where we are first by grounding and centering ourselves into our bodies. So beginning here, you can gently close the eyes if it feels okay for you. Now, if closing the eyes at all feels uncomfortable, at first you're welcome to keep the eyes open. Whether your eyes are open or closed, start to direct your attention to your breath. To start to feel if you're breathing through your nose or your mouth. Now, of course, if you're feeling stuffed up at all in your sinuses, you're welcome to breathe through your mouth. But if it's possible for you to breathe through your nose, I'm going to encourage you to close your mouth and try to breathe exclusively through the nose, in and out. And at first here, as best you can, simply notice your breathing. Try not to adjust it or change it too much. Just notice air as it's coming in and out of your nose. The more tuned in you become to your breath, the more you can release the events of the day so far, any plans you may have for the day ahead. Feel yourself arrive as fully and completely as you can into your body, into this moment right now. Feel a sense of ease come into your body, a gentle softening. With that sense of softening, allow your breath now to settle deeper down into the body. You may begin to feel your belly moving as you breathe. As you become more attuned to the body, you might start to notice some imbalances that sit within our bodies. You might notice one shoulder is a little higher than the other. You might notice that you sit heavily on one side versus the other. You might notice the desire of the legs to flop open or one leg to straighten out. You start to acknowledge maybe some of these sensations of imbalance in the body. We'll establish now the yogic breath, the deep belly breath. So let's bring our hands onto the belly. And with your next inhale, as you breathe in through your nose, you're going to expand with the breath the belly. So using your breath, you're letting your belly expand just as much as is comfortable. And then you're going to exhale and actively contract the belly back in and help to empty that breath out. And again, right away, soften the belly. Inhale, the belly will naturally expand. Then gently contracting that belly back in, helping that exhale breath. So it's a little bit more of an active breath. But really the activity is within the exhale, the engagement of the belly muscles. The inhale is happening pretty naturally, and the belly expanding is a simple reaction to the lungs filling. Be sure to try to soften your throat, allow the breath to remain quite quiet. Noticing the consistency here of your rhythm of breathing. This is your pace. This is your tempo of practice. So as I cue breath, you are moving and breathing at your tempo, your pace for class. So not necessarily my tempo or someone else's. This is your rhythm. Good. Keeping that yogic breath, that belly breath, return the hands to the thighs, sliding the hands gently forward to hold the kneecaps. So remember this breath. This is your breath of practice. At any point you feel a little distracted, short of breath, or you start to feel yourself kind of shallow out and breathe just up in the chest, take a moment and pause to reestablish this yogic breath. On your next inhale, as your belly fills, lift your chest up, take the shoulders back, and gently lift the chin up. As you begin your exhale breath, you're going to contract those belly muscles, round the spine, now tuck the chin in. Now, of course, if you have concerns for your spine, your motion might be a little smaller, or you might focus on the breath and work to sit taller. Inhales, take the shoulders back, the chest up, and then exhales, we round in. We're starting to move through the spine to open up along the length of the back. You're moving with your breath. And just ensure here that you're not only moving your head. So because the neck has so much mobility for most of us, you might feel yourself lifting and lowering your head, but not a whole lot is happening in your torso. I'd rather us focus on the movement of the torso and keep the head pretty still than make this all about the movement of the head and the neck. Keep the head relatively still, but really focus on that motion of the spine. Very nice. Next time you inhale, lift the chest up, shift your chest over to your right, then exhale, round in through center, and let's go to the left. Inhale up through center and shift the chest to the right. Exhale, rounding in through center and go to the left. Good. We're circling here through the upper body. Let your head and neck go nice and soft so they move with the spine. The shoulders are soft, and this circle motion feels quite fluid and graceful as best you can. Let's try circling the other way. Same motion, just go back the other direction as though you were unwinding what you had just done. Beautiful. One more circle here. And then we'll come back into center, sitting up again nice and tall. Bring your hands now up a little bit higher on your thighs. They're a bit closer to your hips. This will give the shoulders some space as we start to gently roll those shoulders. So we're moving the shoulders together, inhaling as you take them up and back, and then gently exhaling as the shoulders roll down and forward. Again, we're setting the tempo or pace of the movement with your yogic breath. Good. Let's try circling the other way. Still moving with the breath. Exhaling as the shoulders go back and up. Inhaling as the shoulders come down and forward. Watch the head here. It really likes to give us a sense of movement. So try to keep your head still, just moving through those shoulders. Good. Then allow yourself to start to move your shoulders independently of one another. And go ahead and just kind of explore out what sort of movement you have available in your upper back through your shoulders. Now, this is a joint area that for many of us might hold some tension, or for some of us might even have some injury. So we want to be really mindful and kind as we move the shoulders around, but also a little curious, because each day presents really a whole new body for us to discover. So as you're moving your body, you're moving from a place of curiosity. Like, what is it like today? Not so much worried about what it was like yesterday or what you hope it to be like one day, but instead, what is the body like today? How is it moving? How is it feeling? Good. Let's take both shoulders now together, bring them up towards the ears, shrug them as high as you can, and then bring in as deep a full inhale breath as you can. So really fill up, shrugging those shoulders to the ears. Now, as you exhale out your nose, you're gonna let your shoulders drop. Good. Inhale through the nose, take those shoulders up. Exhale out the nose, let the shoulders drop. Good, let's keep going like that. Now, of course, you might grab some Kleenex as we start to clear out the sinuses. And if for you, breathing out the nose is not comfortable, you can always exhale out the mouth. A little bit faster now. Good, keep going. Three more. Last one. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Big, big, big breath in. Shrug up as high as you can. Really fill up. Nice, slow breath out the nose as the shoulders start to settle back down the back. Emptying out. Inhaling, letting the belly expand. Keep those shoulders down. Exhale, gently contracting the belly back in as we reestablish our yogic breath. Soften the throat, soften the shoulders. Now, let's take the head now. Turn the head towards your left, just as far as is comfortable. Now, if you do have any osteoporosis or injury in the neck, you want to be really mindful that you're not turning too far. You might even work to sit straight up instead. If the neck's feeling okay as you're looking off to the left, you're going to drop your chin towards your left shoulder. Glide it across the chest and look up over your right shoulder. Then drop that chin back down, slide it across and look up over the left shoulder. So we're doing these sort of half circle motions. And again, if there is concern for the neck, you're taking the motion that is most appropriate for your neck, your spine. For some of us, that's to work to just simply lengthen. That can be some very good work for us. So taking the motion that's best for you. Now, if the neck is feeling okay today, the next time you look over your left shoulder, take your inhale breath to roll the head back, gazing across the ceiling. Then exhale again, bring the chin down and across the chest, creating a circle motion here through the neck. If you're circling the head, let's try going the other way. Keeping the inhale breath as you roll the head back. And then exhale as the chin comes down and across. One more circle like this. And then bringing the head back up into center. Again, aligning the head right on top of the neck. Take those shoulders onto the back. And let's bring the arms to the sides, turning the palms forward, coming into our Tadasana. Shoulders back, palms forward, feet hip distance apart, pressing down into both feet. Inhale now, bring both arms out and up and as high as you comfortably can. Then turn those palms away from one another and exhale, bring the arms down towards your side. Beautiful. Inhale, take the arms out and up. Again, just as high as is comfortable for those shoulders. And then exhale, bring them down and around. Beautiful. One more time. Let's take those arms up overhead again, just as high as is comfortable. Then we're going to take the left hand and bring it across to the right thigh. That right arm is going to sweep around behind us to grab a hold of the back of the chair. Now, if holding onto the back of the chair is painful for the shoulder at all, simply bring your right hand onto your hip. Keep both feet flat on the floor as we gently look off towards the right. We're going to have lots of opportunity to get deeper into our twists. So try not to push or pull yourself into this first twist today. Just go where the spine will go and breathe there. Those deep yogic breaths. Beautiful work, everybody. Let's inhale both arms back up overhead as you unwind the spine. Extend through those arms. Then take the right hand across to the left thigh. Left hand comes around behind you to hold onto the chair, or maybe you rest that left hand on your hip. Gently looking off towards your left. Soften what can soften. Stay connected and attentive to your breathing. Really nice. Inhale, both arms back up overhead. Again, as high as you comfortably can, turning the palms forward. You might take a hold of the right wrist with your left hand if that's available to you. Now, if having the arms overhead is painful at all, you could always bring your fingertips to your shoulders, or maybe for you, you keep your arms at your sides. From here, we're going to slowly arc the upper body to the left. As you do, keep your right hip on that chair. Try not to lean to the left. We're simply curving the spine to the left. Release the shoulders away from the ears and feel those deep belly breaths. Nice. Let's inhale back up into center and reverse your grip. If you've had a hold of the right wrist, take a hold of the left wrist. Straighten those arms as best you can, and then slowly curve over towards your right. So as the spine goes to the right, let that left hip grow heavier into the chair. Really nice. Let's inhale those arms back up into center, release the grip, and bring the arms down to your sides, returning to your Tadasana. So sitting up as tall as you can, feeling a rootedness into the feet. Good job. From here, we're going to extend the right leg straight out in front, keeping the right heel on the floor to start. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to hinge from the hips here. So it might be helpful to actually bring your hands onto your hips for this single leg stretch. And then start to hinge there at the hips. So what we're trying to watch here is that we're not rounding the spine to come forward. We actually want to try to keep the spine quite long. And then you're simply starting to fold down, kind of feeling like that door hinge at the hips. The front of the body sort of closing off on itself. You might bring your hands to your left thigh. Or you might bring your hands onto your right calf. That right foot is flexing back towards you to help engage some of that stretch down the back of the leg. Just pause where it feels okay for you. Breathe there. Those yogic breaths right here. Good work. Take your time to bring yourself back up. Support yourself as you come up. We're going to bring that right foot in and then extend the left leg up. Left heel on the floor. Flex the left toes back. And again, hands might come on the hips as you fold forward. Long spine. Imagine your chest is trying to lift up and out over the legs. Your hands might come onto your right thigh, maybe onto your left calf. Maybe you rest an elbow. Just come to where it feels okay for you. Notice if you're sort of gazing down towards your legs and you're sort of feeling a roundedness in your back. If so, take your collarbones and bring them forward. Stretch them out towards the front of your room, gazing slightly forward from your feet. Good work, everybody. On your next inhale, rise slowly back up. Use that support. Placing the foot back onto the floor, both knees bent, palms open at the sides into your Tadasana. Good. We're going to build on that opening of the back of the leg. So again, we're going to extend the right leg out, this time opening the right leg to the side. Now, if having this angle on your hip is not appropriate for you, that's fine. Keep your right leg forward instead. Otherwise, we're taking the right leg out to the side. The shape of the leg is the same. Flex the right toes back. Good. Place your right hand on your right thigh. Let's bring the left hand onto the chest. With the hand here on the chest, that's going to help us keep the chest lifted. So float the chest up into your left hand and then gently turn slightly to look to your left. Glide your right hand slowly down the right leg, keeping that left shoulder back. And just go to where it feels okay for you. Try not to push directly on top of your right knee, above or below the knee, but keep those right toes flexed back. It's good work, everybody. Some of you might release that left arm now, reaching the left arm up overhead. Some of you might keep your left hand on the heart. That's good too. Check out what's happening in that left hip. Very common here. We want to lift that left hip up. Try to root the left hip down. Our triangle pose. Really good, everybody. Let's slowly inhale back up into center. Place that right foot on the floor, returning to Tadasana. Good. You might feel a little bit of the energy moving now. Let's take the left leg forward and then open it out to the left. Again, you're more than welcome to keep the left leg straight in front if that feels better. Left hand on the left thigh, right hand on the heart. Float that heart up nice and high. Open it towards the sky. Then turn and look towards your right. Slowly sliding the left hand down the left leg. Just as far as is available to you, but keep that right shoulder turned back. You might pause here. Some of you might take your right arm up. These are just options. Being wherever you are and being fully aware of your breathing, fully aware of the body, being present in this moment. Good work. Let's inhale back up into center. Well done. Bring that left foot in. Return to your Tadasana. Nice. Taking the feet now a little wider apart. So taking them just as wide as you comfortably can. Everybody is going to be a bit different. Some of you might take them just an inch out. That's okay. Some of you might be able to take your feet wider than the chair. That's good too. Wherever you are, try turning your toes out slightly so that when you look at your kneecaps are kind of pointing about the same direction as your toes. And now watch these knees. They love to just collapse in. Let's keep the knees right over top of the ankles as best you can. Then from here with that same long straight spine, we're going to do another forward fold from the hips. Hinging at the hips as we fold, your hands can come onto your knees. Maybe your elbows rest onto your thighs. If the back body allows you, you might bring your hands to your ankles or to the floor. This is also a really good place for some blocks. Maybe you place your hands on some blocks. Again, we're working to stay long in the spine. Check back in with that yogic breath. Good. Keeping your left hand or left arm wherever it is, take your right hand onto your right hip. Roll your right shoulder back and gently look towards your right. Again, coming into another twist. I promised you we had opportunity to go deeper into the twist today. Root that right hip down, looking towards the right. Now you're welcome to stay here. So especially if you have concerns for your back or your spine, stay like this and breathe. If the spine's feeling okay today, take that right arm up overhead, big breath in. Then as you exhale, sweep the right arm down and across and point over towards your left. Inhale, sweep that right arm up and open to the right. Then exhale, let it come down and across. One more time, inhale, take that right arm up and open. And then exhale, down and across. Good work. Inhale, bring that right arm back up and open. And then release that right arm from where it came. So maybe you had your elbow on your thigh, maybe you had your hand on a block or the floor. As the right hand or right arm comes down, lift the chest, look forward. See if you can get a little bit more length there. Both feet pressing into the floor. The left hand now will lift onto the left hip. Roll that left shoulder back. Gaze off towards the left. How's your breathing? Try not to go to such a place where you're restricting your breath. Keep that breath full. Taking that left arm up if it's okay for you, then exhaling, sweeping that left arm down and across, pointing to the right. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, down and across. Beautiful. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, down and across. Last one here. Let's inhale, open up. Exhale, down and across. Beautiful. Inhale, take that left arm back up. And exhale, release that left arm where it came from. So maybe hand on blocks, elbow on the thigh. Gazes forward one more time. Let's lengthen the spine. Gently bring one hand at a time up onto your knees and ease yourself slowly up to seated. Beautiful. Walking the feet now a little closer together. Back into our Tadasana. Feel the alignment again of the body. You might feel it a little easier to breathe now, even just a little bit more energy moving. From here, we're going to practice a bit of our balance posture. So if you have any injuries in your tailbone or in the lower back, you're going to work here to maybe just lift one leg up at a time. And we're going to start there, but we'll have an opportunity to lift both legs up. That will put a little pressure on the tailbone, so we want to be mindful of what's okay for you. So let's start first by lifting the right foot up. Now watch as you lift the right foot that you don't lean back. There will be a little lean if you lift both feet, but right now with one foot lifted, we want to stay upright. Good. Keep pressing into that left foot with your right leg lifted. Some of you might take both arms up overhead. Some of you might bring your hands onto your hips if that feels a little better. As we're holding the body in a position, try not to hold your breath. Keep it flowing. Good work. Let's release the arms down. Release that right foot down. We're coming back into Tadasana. And then we're switching sides. We're lifting the left leg up. And you're just lifting it as high as is comfortable. Also notice as you lift one leg up, the desire to lean one way or the other. Try to stay straight up. Again, your hands might come onto your hips, or they might come up overhead. Good. The core to every posture is our breathing. How is your breath? Really good work, everybody. Let's let the arms come down, back into Tadasana. Let the left foot come down. Beautiful. So if you do have concerns for your low back or tailbone, you're going to work in the same postures we just did, lifting one leg, pausing, and lifting the other. If the low back and tailbone are okay today, we're going to take both arms up or hands on the hips and then lift both feet up. Now you'll notice as both feet lift, you will naturally draw back a little bit. That's okay, but we want to feel a lift from the chest. Good. You might take both arms up. See if you can lift your knees a little bit higher. Good work. This is our boat pose. You've got it. Keep that breath moving. Now, if you're doing one leg at a time, make sure to switch sides. Do the other leg.
I'm leaning back and lifting my leg.
Good work. Beautiful. Place the feet back onto the floor. Let the arms come back to your sides, sitting tall in your Tadasana. Move that breath. Good job, everybody. All right, from here, we're going to turn ourselves around to the right-hand side of the chair. So you're coming to sit on the right-hand side of the chair. Now, again, if the hips are okay, there's no injury in there, you're going to let yourself sit slightly off the front edge of the chair so your left hip is hanging off. And then I find, and this is really dependent on the height of your chair and the height of your body, I find it helpful to put a block underneath my right foot here. As we start to take our left leg into a bit of a lunge, it can draw that right leg up a bit, especially if you're, on the shorter side like myself. So if it's okay for your left ankle, knee, and hips, we're really thinking about these joints, your left leg could come back into a bit of a lunge. You might tuck your toes under, you might untuck the foot, and you're just taking the leg back as far as is comfortable. You're also welcome to keep the feet side by side. I have my right hand holding onto the back of the chair. Let's take the left arm up overhead. Press equally into both feet. Root the lower half of the body, and then slowly start to curve your upper body over the back of the chair towards the right side. The back of the chair. Good job. If it's okay for you, you could bend your left elbow, take your hand and hold the base of your head, the skull, right where it rounds onto the neck. Just support that there. And then lift your chest up a little bit higher, letting the head come slightly back into your hand. As you arc over, there's a fair bit going on here, but we're doing good work to open up the chest. Breathing. Really nice. On your inhale, press into both feet, come back up into center. Take that left arm now straight out in front of you, and then wrap it around towards the back of the chair so you're holding on to the back of the chair with both hands. Pressing equally into both feet will stabilize the hips. You can stay here, or some of you might extend that right arm out behind you towards the right, maybe looking a little further to the right or towards that right thumb. Beautiful work. Let's inhale, unwind ourselves, take your time. Let the upper body unwind first. If you're in the lunge pose, you're going to bring your left foot beside your right foot. Then you'll start to turn around towards the other side. So if you're using a brick, you can bring a brick with you. And we're going to come around towards the other side of the chair, towards the left side. Again, only if it's okay for your hip, you'll let yourself kind of sit off the front of this chair so the hip has some space. And then you can take your right foot back into your lunge. That is an option. If this is not okay for your body, simply keep your feet side by side. Wherever you are, though, you want to feel equal effort in both legs. You're actively pressing down into both feet, sitting up as tall as you can. Good. The right arm can come out and up overhead as you start to curve over towards your left. Root into those feet. Breathe deeply. Again, you have an option here. You can bend your right elbow, hold the back of the head, take the chest up and let the head lean back slightly into your hand. That's just an option. Wherever you are, though, you are experiencing your breathing. Beautiful. Let's inhale the upper body back into center. Take that right arm and extend it straight out in front of you. Then wrap it around towards the back of the chair. So both hands are holding onto the back of the chair. Both hands in back. You can stay here like this, or some of you might extend that left arm out behind you, maybe turning a bit more to look towards the left fingers. Both feet stay rooted though. Don't lose the effort in the legs. Good work, everybody. Let's inhale the upper body unwinding first. Slide that right foot beside the left foot, and then turn to face forward in the chair. Both feet on the floor, hands on the thighs, sitting up nice and tall, settling what can settle. Now I will give some of you an opportunity now, if you'd like to come to the floor, you could use your chair to help bring yourself down onto the ground. You're also welcome though to stay seated in your chair. If you are coming to the floor, you're going to start by sitting on the floor and have your legs straight out in front. You're welcome to sit on a pillow if you like that little lift. Take your time to get there. If you're in the chair, you're sitting with your feet flat on the floor in Tadasana, palms open to the side. So those of you on the floor, you're actually in Dandasana, in a staff pose. So the upper body is the same. The legs are more extended, straight out, toes flexed back. Then from here, let's all inhale, arms up as high as you comfortably can. As you exhale, you're going to reach out and pour down over your legs, letting your hands rest wherever it's comfortable, then sliding your hands up the legs, keeping the hands connected to the body as you inhale, sweep up, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Beautiful. Inhale, rolling up. Big sweeping motion. Exhale, folding. Good. Let's keep going. Three more breaths like this. Last one. Staying in this forward fold, hands can come wherever they naturally rest. If you have concerns for blood pressure, let your hands support you or elbows support you on your thighs so your head stays above your heart. Otherwise, lift the chest forward and start to extend out over the legs. There is a bit of compression here now on the belly as the belly touches the thighs, maybe. And you can feel your breath a bit more in the back of your body.
And over the legs, like so your belly's compressed.
Good work. Slowly using hands to help you. Bring yourself back up to your tall seat position. Again, if you're on the floor, the legs are straight, the feet are flexed back. And let's now all take our arms straight out in front. We're going to interlace the fingers and release the index fingers if your hands allow. Now, if there's a fair bit of arthritis in there, maybe it just feels better to hold the hands as they are. Otherwise, you're releasing that index finger on each hand and pointing forward. Your arms here are about level with the shoulders. If the shoulders allow, you're going to keep them that level. On your inhale breath, your whole upper body is going to start to lean back. Lean back as far as you comfortably can. Keep those arms up. Then as you exhale, you're going to lean forward. Keep those arms lifted as you come forward. Inhale, start to gently come back up and leaning back. Exhale, slowly leaning forward. So this is a posture I often think about lumberjacks. Not that I often think about lumberjacks, but here I think about lumberjacks just sawing a big tree with that really big saw, one on each side going back and forth. We're going nice and slow.
Tree down.
Beautiful. Next time you exhale, as you come forward, keep your arms lifted, sweep them over to the right. As you inhale, come through center, lean back and go over to the left. Exhaling, reaching forward as much as you can and go to the right. Inhaling, leaning through center, back and to the left. Good. Moving with your breath. Big circle motion here. Good job. Let's circle the other way. Go back in the opposite direction. Move with your breath. One more big circle here. Coming back in through center, sit up nice and tall, release those arms to your sides. Take a moment, close the eyes, and simply feel whatever it is you're feeling. For those of you who are on the floor, I invite you now to come to legs on the chair. So you're going to scoot yourself as close to your chair as you can. Bring your legs up so your calves are resting on the chair and you're laying with your spine on the ground. So it actually, in a shape, looks just like you're sitting in a chair, but you're lying on your back instead. If you are here sitting in a chair, you're going to sit yourself all the way to the back of the chair. This is a great place for some blocks. Placing blocks underneath the feet if you need. Setting your spine up against the back of the chair. Once you have yourself in your position here, now if you are sitting in a chair and you happen to have a hassock or a second chair or even a coffee table in front of you, you could place your legs up on that, and that will give you a little bit of the same blood reversal that we're looking for with legs on the chair. Otherwise, just simply let your feet rest on the block or floor. Bring your hands back onto your belly. Soften those shoulders. And now close the eyes. Let your legs go soft. The knees will probably want to splay open. That's okay. But connect deeply back into the movement of your breathing. Soften the jaw, soften the tongue, and let the throat open just a little bit. With this ease and this space, we're going to practice our rectangular breathing. So we'll inhale for a set count. We'll pause at the top of that inhale just for a moment. Then we're going to exhale for the same count, emptying all the way out at the bottom there, and then holding empty just for a moment. And again, inhaling for that count. I will keep count and I will increase it as we go, and I'll let you know as we do that. We want to make sure though, as we increase the count of the breath, that you're not working in a place that is creating tension in the body. If you feel that sense of tension coming in, you know you've worked a little past your current capacity. So you want to back off on the count, or maybe even release the practice altogether and simply come back to your natural breath. But let's start together here by taking a big breath in just as comfortably as you can. And then empty out completely. Get as empty as you can. We're going to start our count with 5. So inhaling through the nose, filling up for 1, 2, 3, 4, getting full at 5, pausing full. Exhaling now for 5, 4, 3, 2, empty out at 1, pausing empty. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Let's go to 6. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let's go to 7. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep inhaling. 6, right up to 7, pausing full. Exhaling. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out, pause, empty. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Exhaling. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out, pause, empty. Let's go to 8. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fill up at 8, pausing full. Exhaling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing empty. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhaling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out, pause, empty. Let's go to 9. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep inhaling. 7, 8, right up to 9, pausing full. And then exhaling. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out, pause, empty. Let's do one more round at 9. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right up to 9. Pause full. Feel full here at 9. And then exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty out, pause, empty. And now release the breath. Allow a natural breath to settle back in. If there was any buildup of tension, try to let that tension now wash away. From here, let's gently lift the right leg up, bringing the right knee into the belly. You can hold behind your right calf, right thigh, or around your right calf, whatever feels available to you. And just give the leg a little squeeze in here. You might point and flex your right foot a few times. Maybe roll your right ankle. Maybe roll it the other way. And flex the right foot back again. Give it another squeeze in. And release your right leg back to where it came from. Coming into the other side, lift the left leg up, holding behind the left thigh or around the left calf. Giving just a gentle squeeze in. You can point and flex your left foot a few times. Roll the left ankle. Roll it the other way. And flex that left foot back. Give it another little squeeze in. And then release that left foot to the floor. Really nice. If you're lying on the ground, give both legs now a squeeze to the body. Wrap the arms around the legs and hug them in. If you're sitting in the chair, you can fold forward, take your arms underneath your legs, give yourself a little squeeze there. If you're lying on the ground, go ahead and roll yourself over onto your side. Press yourself away from the chair and come to lay down onto your back on the ground. Make sure you have some space around you as well. If you're lying on the floor, on your back, bend to both knees, place both feet on the ground. If you're sitting in the chair, slowly ease yourself up to sit up nice and tall. From here, let's all take our feet a little bit wider apart. So if you're in the chair, move any props out of the way, move forward slightly in your chair. If you're on the floor, just simply take your feet as wide as your mat and start to sway the knees from side to side. And let this be a little more gentle maybe than you're used to. We've done a fair bit in class today, and we're trying to get that energy that we've built up now settling in a really balanced, gentle way. Right. If you're lying on the floor, go ahead and let both your legs flop to your left. So keep those feet wide, let the knees simply flop to the left. Open your arms up wide and look towards your right. If you're sitting in the chair, bring your feet again a little closer together. Take your left hand to your right thigh, right hand behind you, and gently come into your twist here. Close your eyes now. Settle into that natural breath. So we've released the yogic breath. Stay with your natural breath here. Beautiful. If you're on the floor, slowly fan the knees back up. Keep the feet wide and let the legs fall to the right. Turn your head to look to the left. If you're in the chair, simply unwind the upper body. Let's bring the right hand across to the left thigh, left hand behind you. Again, a gentle twist here. Close the eyes. Starting to feel that descent into a place within yourself that is quiet, that is gently coming to a stillness. Beautiful. From here, unwind yourself and let's come into Savasana, our final resting posture. So if you're lying on the floor, you're welcome to straighten your legs out, let your arms rest at your sides and close your eyes. You could also put a bolster or a couple pillows or a rolled blanket under your knees or maybe a pillow under your head. If you're sitting in the chair, you're going to sit all the way to the back of your chair. Once again, bringing maybe blocks underneath your feet for a bit of support. You don't want to have the feet dangling, so make sure they feel they have a bit of support. You know, books work well as well there. You can put a pillow in your lap, rest your arms on the pillow, taking some of the weight off the shoulders. The spine is right against the back of the chair. If you wear glasses, this is a good time to remove those glasses, or maybe you have a watch on or any sort of jewelry that might be distracting for you. Just go ahead and remove that. Feel the support against your back, and instead of pushing into the support, create a sense of melting, of letting go, just this very soft kind of flowing out across the support. Allow your arms to become heavy. Let your legs soften. Maybe they'll roll open. If you haven't already, close your eyes. I'm going to take a few minutes here to rest in that quiet and still space within ourselves. And I'll bring us back in time to close the practice. Keeping your body still. Notice your breathing. Try not to change the breath at all, but just watch. Watch the breath as it moves in, around and through and out the body. Watch now while you begin to bring conscious movement into your body. Maybe wiggling a finger, maybe wiggling a toe. Check in again with that curiosity. What does it feel like right now to move a finger or to move one toe? What happens as we move with consciousness? Letting that movement spread into all the fingers and all the toes. Easing yourself awake. If you're on the floor, take your time. There's no rush. And slowly bend your knees and roll yourself over to your side, making your way up to sit either on your mat or in your chair. If you are sitting in the chair, take your time to remove your props. Do so mindfully, consciously, and come to sit slightly forward in your chair. Once you're in your seat, fold your hands together in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra and lift that heart again as high as you can towards the sky. Soften the shoulders, soften the face, close the eyes. And come right back into that same still and quiet place that you were in just a moment ago. Know deeply that that peacefulness, that calm is with you at all times, even during some of the most tumultuous storms. There is opportunity for stillness, for peace. So thank you to each of you for continuing to come and to practice yoga together. Namaste.